I married Dr. Doug Weiss, who has been such a blessing to me. The situation saddens me deeply, and it grieves my heart.
The situation surrounding Joni Lamb, her marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss, the firing of her son Jonathan Lamb, and the subsequent fallout has sparked considerable public interest, controversy, and deep concerns about the future of Daystar Television Network. Daystar, one of the largest Christian television networks globally, has long been regarded as a major outlet for religious programming, spreading the message of faith, hope, and prosperity to millions of viewers worldwide. However, the recent internal struggles of the Lamb family and its leadership have brought the network under intense scrutiny. The following analysis delves deeply into the family dynamics, the corporate and spiritual challenges faced by Daystar, and the broader implications of these events on the future of both the network and the Lamb family's legacy. The foundation of Daystar Television Network. A family legacy. Daystar Television Network was founded by Marcus and Joni Lamb in 1997 with a clear vision: to reach a global audience with the message of Christ. The Lambs were passionate about using media to spread their faith, and under their leadership, Daystar became a household name within the Christian community. Their network was known for its expansive programming, featuring both religious content and educational materials designed to strengthen the faith of viewers. For years, Marcus and Joni Lamb were the faces of Daystar, working side by side to grow the network into one of the most influential Christian media outlets. Their son, Jonathan Lamb, was introduced to the world of broadcasting at an early age, following in his parents' footsteps. As the network grew, Jonathan played an integral role in its development. His commitment to the network's mission and his ability to connect with the audience positioned him as a prominent figure within the Daystar family. Many saw Jonathan as the natural successor to his father, Marcus Lamb, whose sudden death from COVID-19 complications in 2021 left the family and the network reeling. Marcus's death created a leadership vacuum, one that Joni, as his widow, was expected to fill. However, as events unfolded, it became clear that the transition of leadership within the family business would not be as seamless as many had hoped. Joni Lamb's leadership. After Marcus's passing, Joni Lamb, as the widow of Marcus, took over the reins of Daystar Television Network following his untimely death. Her transition into the leadership role was not without its challenges. On the one hand, she had to contend with the emotional weight of losing her husband, while also facing the pressure of maintaining Daystar's mission. On the other hand, she had to ensure that the network's operations continued smoothly, navigating both internal and external challenges. Many observers praised her for stepping up to lead a global Christian network in the wake of such personal loss, but others questioned whether her leadership could stand up to the pressures of the role. Joni had always been a respected figure in Christian media, but her leadership was now being tested. There were significant expectations placed on her, and the weight of continuing her husband's work seemed like an almost impossible task. Her personal and professional lives began to blur, as she not only had to carry on Daystar's work, but also navigate the emotional terrain of being a widow with 4 children, one of whom had long been positioned to take a more prominent role in the network. Jonathan Lamb's firing, a shock to the system. The firing of Jonathan Lamb from Daystar Television Network was a stunning and unexpected turn of events. Jonathan had been a key figure within Daystar for years, and his sudden removal from his position caused shockwaves within both the Daystar organization and the wider Christian community. To many, Jonathan's departure felt like the unraveling of a family legacy, and questions immediately began circulating about the reasons behind this decision. Jonathan, who had grown up with Daystar as an integral part of his life, was deeply invested in the network's success. He was a public figure who embodied the vision of his parents, and his sudden dismissal raised immediate concerns about the internal workings of the Lamb family. For many, his firing seemed to signal deeper issues within the family and the organization that had been hidden from the public eye. Jonathan initially remained silent in the face of his dismissal, but it soon became clear that he was not going to let this happen without providing his side of the story. In a public statement, he explained the emotional and professional toll the situation had taken on him and his family, including his wife, Susie Lamb. Jonathan expressed how he had felt sidelined by the leadership at Daystar, particularly after Marcus's death. His statement shed light on the tensions that had been building within the family, which were exacerbated by his mother Joni's newfound leadership and her personal decisions. Joni Lamb's marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss, a point of controversy. In the midst of these developments, Joni Lamb's marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss added another layer of complexity to the situation. Dr. Weiss, a well-known Christian counselor and author, became the subject of public scrutiny when he married Joni Lamb in 2023, less than 2 years after the death of Marcus. While many of Joni's supporters saw her marriage as a sign of faith, healing, and resilience, others criticized it as inappropriate given the timing. Some felt that her remarriage so soon after Marcus's passing undermined her ability to focus on the leadership of Daystar, while others questioned whether Dr. Weiss's influence would begin to impact Daystar's direction. Dr. Doug Weiss was well regarded for his work as a Christian therapist, specializing in helping couples strengthen their marriages. Many saw him as a supportive and compassionate figure who could help Joni navigate the complex emotions of widowhood. However, the timing of their marriage raised questions within the Daystar community, as some wondered whether Joni was ready to fully embrace leadership responsibilities while also managing her personal life. The marriage raised more questions than it answered. Critics argued that her remarriage to Dr. Weiss so soon after Marcus's death was too much of a personal shift for a leader at the helm of a major Christian television network. Some feared that Joni's new marriage might divide her focus between her family and her duties at Daystar, potentially weakening the leadership at the network. Others, however, defended her decision, acknowledging that the grief of losing Marcus was overwhelming and that she deserved happiness and emotional support. The fallout. Jonathan and Susie Lamb's public statements. The public statements made by Jonathan and his wife Susie only deepened the controversy. In interviews and public appearances, the Lambs explained how they had been feeling increasingly alienated within Daystar. Susie spoke candidly about the emotional toll the situation had taken on her, describing the anxiety and frustration she felt in the wake of Jonathan's firing. She even accused Daystar's leadership, including Joni, of silencing them and undermining their voices within the network. These statements prompted a vigorous public debate about the dynamics of the Lamb family and the future of Daystar. Supporters of Jonathan and Susie felt that the family drama should have remained private and expressed concern over how Joni was handling both the leadership of the network and her relationships with her children. On the other hand, supporters of Joni Lamb argued that she was simply making the tough decisions necessary to ensure Daystar's continued success, and that the Lamb family's personal struggles should not be allowed to derail the work of the ministry. The financial questions. Luxury spending amidst financial scrutiny. Amidst the family tensions, financial questions surrounding Daystar also surfaced. Reports emerged about Daystar's recent financial expenditures, including the purchase of a multi-million-dollar condominium in Florida. This raised eyebrows among critics who questioned whether such lavish spending was appropriate for a Christian ministry. Some felt that the network, with its mission of spreading the gospel, should be more transparent about its finances, especially when large sums of money were being spent on luxury properties. The controversy surrounding Daystar's financial decisions added to the sense of unease surrounding the leadership of Joni Lamb. The financial questions were compounded by broader concerns about Daystar's fundraising efforts. Some critics argued that the network was not as transparent as it should be regarding its income and expenditures, particularly when it came to donations from its loyal audience. This led to accusations of financial mismanagement and a lack of accountability. For some viewers, these financial concerns tarnished Daystar's image as a responsible Christian ministry, raising doubts about whether the network was truly acting in the best interest of its supporters. The future of Daystar and the Lamb family. As the controversies surrounding Joni Lamb, her marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss, and the firing of Jonathan Lamb continued to unfold, the future of Daystar Television Network seemed uncertain. Daystar's strong foundation, built over decades by Marcus and Joni Lamb, was now facing serious challenges. Would Daystar be able to recover from the internal strife, or would the family conflicts ultimately threaten the network's position as a leading Christian media outlet? One of the critical questions facing Daystar was how Joni would manage her leadership responsibilities moving forward. The network's future seemed tied to her ability to reconcile her personal and professional lives. But this would not be an easy task. The controversies surrounding her marriage, Jonathan's firing, and the financial scrutiny would require careful handling. How she addressed these issues in the coming months and years would determine whether Daystar could continue its growth or whether the internal struggles would harm its long-term success. Another key factor was how Daystar would handle the legacy of the Lamb family. Jonathan's absence left a gap in the leadership of the network, and questions arose about who would step into his role, if anyone. Would Daystar continue to rely on external leadership to guide its direction, or would other members of the Lamb family fill the void? The answers to these questions would play a major role in shaping the network's future. A family's journey and a network's fate. The story of Daystar Television Network and the Lamb family is far from over. The controversies surrounding Joni Lamb, her marriage to Dr. Doug Weiss, and the firing of Jonathan Lamb have raised important questions about the future of both the network and the Lamb family's legacy. As the network faces these challenges, many are left wondering whether Daystar can maintain its status as a leading Christian television network. The coming months and years will be critical for Daystar. Joni Lamb's ability to navigate the complex family dynamics, address financial concerns, and lead the network with clarity and purpose will determine the network's fate. Whether Daystar will rise above these challenges and continue to spread its message of faith, or whether internal strife will cause irreparable damage remains to be seen. One thing is certain, the world will be watching as the Lamb family and Daystar chart their course into the future.